We're at Worlds Collide and we kick off the show in style with some six-man tag team action. Can Berto get along with his teammates as a representative of Legado del Fantasma, and to a grander extent SmackDown as they take on Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown and Pagano. And the match starts off hot with Santos Escobar and Dr. Wagner Jr. as Santos attempts to strike, although he misses and gets dropped for his troubles. Wagner tells him to bring it, which he doesn't, as he tags out to Angel, who fares much better against the Luchador, as he nails a sling blade and quickly follows through with a drop kick. But his follow-up kick to the ankle gets avoided, as Wagner looks for a DDT, yet he can't connect it, as Angel escapes his grasp with 3 shots to the gut, before hitting a blitz to Hurricanrana. And a Codebreaker alongside a Spinebuster follows suit. But Wagner kicks out and bolts to tag in Pagano, who is a beast unleashed as he decimates Angel with any strike he can think of. As after dropping the elbow, he connects a brutal striking combination which takes down the man formerly known as Angel Garter. But from here, Pagano decides to do some tag team offense with Dr. Wagner Jr. as he hurls Angel headfirst into Wagner's boots. And after the 2 back-to-back part suplexes, part Falcon Arrows, he attempts a third with a fancy roll, yet Angel slips out of it and nearly decapitates him with a dropkick to the back of the neck. Then it's time for some more double team action, as Angel surprisingly tags Santos back in and not Berto, with the two connecting with an assisted diving crossbody. And with a leg drop, Legado del Fantasma are firmly in control of the match, even though Berto still can't get into the match, and he's forced to aimlessly watch on, as Angel attempts the potential finishing blow, though Wagner gets back into the fight, as he counters with a clothesline before tagging in Psycho Clown, and he is just as advertised, as he knocks Santos and Berto down to the outside before nailing a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Then he just lights him up with elbows. Even Pagano joins in with a little shot before he nails another elbow along with a floating head scissors. Though Santos and Umberto both want the tag, and with a counter by Angel, he does get the opportunity. Though Santos demands for Angel to tag him in, Berto is getting increasingly frustrated, and he decides to just walk out. Berto is done with Legado del Fantasma, and Santos tries chasing after him, yet he gets a super kick for his troubles. And the Clown gives chase to the legal man, as he picks him up and throws him into the ring, and immediately drop kicks him back down, before teaming with Pagano to Irish Whip and subsequently back body drops Santos. And after a follow-up elbow, he looks for a slam, which gets countered into a big-time DDT before tagging in Angel. But Santos has had enough, as he attempts to walk out of the match just like Berto did, and Angel isn't having it, as he demands for Santos to get back into the ring and fight, which he denies. He wants no part of the match any longer. So Angel responds in kind, as he nails another super kick before going back into the Lion's Den. Though now, he's at a 3-on-1 disadvantage, but he doesn't care. He wants to fight, and he brings it. He manages to take down all 3 men, as he even manages to nail a wing clipper, yet the Psycho Clown breaks up the pin, and eventually, the numbers game catches up to him, as with an end of days from Pagano, a Psycho Destroyer from Psycho Clown, and a diving moonsault from Dr. Wagner Jr., the AAA team pick up the win. Legado del Fantasma has crumbled, and the trio of Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano have seemingly only just begun their journeys as one. Although up next, it's time for a fatal 4-way, as Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Rey Fenix all are desperate to wrestle the NXT North American Championship away from All Ego Ethan Page. Who'll stand tall? Well, the match is on, and Ethan Page instantly rolls to the outside. He wants no part of the 3 bouncy men, so all 3 men do what they know best, and that's fly. As Javon looks for a flippy kick onto Laredo, although he moves and bicycle kicks Phoenix before connecting a head scissors onto the NXT star. Though he doesn't slow down, as he hits a diving shooting star press onto Phoenix on the outside. But then Ethan Page slowly makes his way into the ring and attempts to pin Javon Evans, yet he kicks out. So Page immediately scurries away back to the outside, although before Evans can go after him, Laredo Kid reinserts himself into the fight with a fancy arm drag, which gets followed up by a brutal knee. but Paige drags Javon out of the ring and proceeds to throw him into the barricade. Yet Laredo Kid once again dives to the outside, and with all three men getting up, it's Rey Fenix's turn to fly, as he nails an unbelievable corkscrew, taking out everyone. So Phoenix then sends Paige into the ring and looks to dive off the top rope, though Paige catches him, but he just manages to escape his grasp with a few elbows to the skull, as he then goes through the ropes, only this time he connects a big clothesline and sprawls into the cover, although Paige is able to get his left shoulder up at 2. So Phoenix stays on the attack as he nails a knee to the skull and a poison rana, though before he can take advantage, Laredo hits him in the back and springboards with a drop kick. But Javon is also back up as he hits him with a forearm and connects a Canadian Destroyer. Laredo is out, yet Ethan Page manages to break up the pin in the nick of time, and Page looks for a kick, although Javon has it scouted as he sweeps his leg out and elbow drops him for good measure. Then Javon looks to get bouncy, although Rey kicks him down to the mat before he too descends to the heavens, but Page brings him back down to reality. But he soon joins him as he gets wiped out by a big DDT, yet Phoenix is back up and springboard crossbodies Evans nearly across the whole damn ring, and he then looks for a spinning back kick, although Javon flawlessly flips away before attempting the same DDT. But this time, Phoenix gets out of it and finally connects the kick. Although before he can go to the cover, Laredo gets back into the match with a springboard twisting uppercut, and he then looks for the Saito suplex, although Phoenix backflips out of it, yet he gets shut down by a trio of devastating kicks. Before Laredo looks for a crossbody, but Phoenix moves and looks for the clothesline again, which is met this time by Laredo's own. Yet he isn't done, as he sends the SmackDown star to the outside before diving onto him once again. And whilst this is going on, Ethan hurls Evans into the barricade alongside stomping his head before setting him into the ring and looking for a DDT. But once again, it gets blocked with a trio of punches, before Evans connects with a certain RKO. He even goes into the cover, but Laredo breaks up the pin. So they start trading blows as Page crawls up the turnbuckle until Laredo Kid decides to dropkick all egos back. And Javon decides to let bygones be bygones as he too dropkicks Page. Though the alliance was only temporary as Laredo attempts to steal the win of a roll-up, but Evans reverses the pressure, though the AAA Cruiserweight Champion powers out of it. But Phoenix is back as he double axe handles both men, although Evans quickly takes him down by the leg. Yet Laredo then takes him out to the outside, which is very quickly followed up by a second poison rana. Though 2 isn't enough, as Laredo just manages to kick out. So Phoenix looks for a double foot stomp, but Kid moves and nails a picture-perfect hurricanrana. And finally, he connects the Saito suplex. But Ethan Page gets back into the match and throws Laredo out and attempts to steal the pin. Though thankfully, Phoenix kicks out. So he looks for a kick, but Phoenix catches him, although Page grabs him and slams him back down. Yet once again, Laredo brings up the pin, as he then connects the Spanish Fly, though Javon flies from the sky to break up the pin. But he took himself out in the process, which allows Laredo to hoist him up, though Javon gets out of it and plants him down with a super kick. And this is followed up by a 5-star frog splash. Yet now it's Ethan Page who breaks up the pin, and he then sends Javon to the outside and follows him, beating down his former rival. And this leaves the 2 luchadores to do battle. And it's so incredibly even, it could go either way between both men. But one well-timed super kick to the back of the head paves way for Phoenix to nail a Michinoku driver. Yet Page ruins his chances of becoming an NXT champion as he nails an Ego's Edge onto Phoenix, who drags his lifeless corpse to the outside. All the while, Javon Evans nails an OG cutter out of nowhere onto the champion to make Ethan Page the now former NXT North American champion. It's a huge moment for the young OG. He's captured his first title in WWE. It's a hell of a feel-good moment. But how do we follow this? Well, after the chaotic 4-way comes another 6-man tag team match, as the LWO look to take the W against the team of Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. And the match starts with Dragon Lee and Octagon Jr., and Lee starts off hot, as Octagon gets sent to the outside from a Hurricanrana, with Dragon Lee soon following him. And after a standing shooting star press, he then throws him into the ring and hits a stiff forearm alongside looking for a second standing shooting star press, but Octagon gets his knees up this time, and he then impressively connects a rotating powerbomb, with Lee desperately going to the outside, and this time Junior follows him with the dive. And after a diving knee, he throws him into the ring and looks for a Hurricanrana, yet Dragon Lee manages to throw him off with a European uppercut. Then with a gory looking super kick, Lee throws Junior into the corner and he tags in Cruz del Toro, with the two nailing dual super kicks. Yet with his last gas, Octagon tags in Iguana, and he's all over Toro, as with a clubbing blow to his chest, he looks for a pump handle slam, though Cruz del Toro gets out of it, yet a subsequent dropkick is also countered, as he gets dropped by a vicious clothesline. But he misses another clubbing blow, which gives Toro enough time to make the tag to Joaquin Wilde, and he gets taken down with a hip toss straight away, which gets followed with a knee. And then he tags back in Octagon Jr., with the Mister assisting the Junior in a diving shoulder tackle. Then it's his turn to hit the standing shooting star press, although the subsequent knee is nowhere to be found, as he gets dropped by a super kick. And then he hits the snapmare driver before going into the cover, yet Aerostar breaks up the pin, which allows for Octagon to push Wilde away before chopping him down. And after some gruesome arm work, he tags in Aerostar, with the two nailing a snapmare neckbreaker kick combination. And Star just lights him up with kicks, alongside a standing swanton bomb. And he then picks him up and drops him as quick as he did. But the next move is far more impressive, as he connects a standing Spanish fly before hooking the leg, yet Wilde still has fight left in him, so Aero puts this to the test, as he looks for a DDT, but Wilde escapes this, as he runs off the ropes, though he's met with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Then he tags back in Octagon Jr., who he assists in nailing a punch to the gut, which is then transitioned into a ripcord knee strike, though Toro breaks up the pin, and with this, the punishment continues. Although no matter what is thrown at Wilde, he still keeps on kicking. So Aerostar is brought back into the match, as he hits a knee to Wilde's gut, as with Octagon's help, they nail a simple yet effective double suplex. And after Wilde rolls to the outside, we get arguably the most horrific spot of the night. Wilde should be dead, and Aerostar isn't, as he puts Wilde into the ring and connects a humongous splash. But he's not done, although he has to be, as Wilde counters as he connects a snapmare driver before tagging in Dragon Lee. And he instantly floats over Aerostar and looks for a powerbomb, yet the AAA star gets out of it, or so you think, as Lee does connect the powerbomb. But then, Mr. Iguana trips Lee up, and this costs him everything, as Aerostar connects an inverted DDT alongside a moonsault and standing Shiranai, and the rest of the LWO don't break up the pin. As with that, the AAA crew pick up the sudden win. Dragon Lee was beaten just like that. No one can believe how decisive and sudden the victory was. And once the dust settles, that even includes their leader. Rey Mysterio is here, and he's actually in some quite mysterious and moody clothing, very unlike Rey, and we see why. Rey Mysterio has just turned on his own student. He's just turned to the dark side. And Cruz del Toro, along with Joaquin Wilde, join him, walking away from the down Dragon Lee. He's been outcasted. The LWO are now bad guys. But why? Well, before we find out, it's time for some more tag team action. As the Lola Vice teams with the now former NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer to take on Delice and Chick Tormenta. And the match begins with Lola and Delice. And Delice instantly nearly knocks out Lola with a headbutt. And she demands for her to bring it, which she eventually does, as she lights up her opponent with kicks culminating in one roundhouse style. Well, Delice gets straight back up and actually blocks a kick, yet as she goes for a powerbomb, Lola blocks this all the same, with her even sending her to the outside alongside taking out Tormenta. And the referee forcefully gives Delice breathing room, which indirectly costs Lola, as she gets taken out by Delice's own roundhouse kick. Then she goes for a German suplex, but Lola dodges this, yet she can't hit anything of her own, as she gets blasted right back down. Though with a well-timed kick, Lola gets back into the fight, and even manages to tag in Stephanie Vaquer, with them hitting a double hip toss and double kick to follow suit. Then it's Devil's Kiss time, which of course gets a huge crowd pop, and after this, she looks for a sidewalk slam, yet with one well-timed knee, Delice gets back on top with just a simple takedown. Then she gets the tag, with her and Tormenta nailing Vaquer with a double shoulder tackle. And Chick looks to follow this with a DDT, but Vaquer fights back. Although as she grabs Tormenta, she connects a vicious forearm and punch to take down La Primera. And after plentiful knees in the corner, which look like they could kill, she slowly and methodically works over Vaquer's leg with her screaming in agony. And this torment doesn't stop, as with a clubbing blow to her back and a knee right to her nose, she tags back in Delice, as the two work together to put Stephanie on the top rope before joining her up there and delivering a bone-chilling double back suplex. And naturally, the cover is made, although Vaquer kicks out. So Delice attempts to finish the job with a bridging Northern Light suplex, yet La Primera kicks out all the same. Lola Vice is desperate for the tag, though she's gonna have to wait, as Delice knees Vaquer's head nearly through the damn ring, before she out of sheer instinct rolls to the apron, which gets her hung on the ropes for her troubles, with her dropping to the concrete floor. Though the punishment isn't relenting, as Delice constantly whips Vaquer into the barricade before sending her back into the ring. And with an attack to the back alongside a double axe handle to the same area, she looks for a choke bomb, but Stephanie Vaquer gets out of it, and with a stiff forearm and clothesline, Lola Vice finally gets back into the match, and she's a one-woman wrecking crew. Although after a big kick to Delice's back, Stephanie Vaquer is tagged back into the match, as she's able to nail the corkscrew moonsault. Yet she isn't done, as after tagging back in Lola, she takes out Chick to the outside of the ring and follows it up with an SVB. All the while, Lola forces Delice up with her own foot and connects the spinning back fist. The dynamic NXT duo have won, and they are celebrating this. No heel turn in sight. And to put the icing on the cake, Stephanie Vaquer officially passes the torch of being the face of the NXT Women's Division to Lola Vice, as now Stephanie Vaquer can become a full-blown Raw superstar, as now it's Lola Vice's time. But right now, it's now time for the main event of the evening, as it's time for Eliho Delicingo to take on what many believe to be El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, for the AAA Mega Championship. And of course, he didn't come alone, as American Made all cheer their hero on, with Gable and Vikingo locking up. Although naturally, the leader of American Made is easily able to overpower him in this department, even giving him a cheap shot after the referee separates them. So they lock up again, and once again, Gable dominates in this department. He outclasses him in every way you could think of regarding technical wrestling. Although Vikingo still puts up a good fight, even out wrestling him at one point. Yet Gable instantly retaliates with a few elbows, which is all he can manage, as he gets put straight back down face first. But as he mounts Gable, he turns the momentum on his side, yet as he grabs his leg, Vikingo too fights back, though as he runs at El Grande Americano, he manages to snap off a brutal looking dragon suplex, which can only grant him a 2 count. And with the power of a god, Gable deadlifts Vikingo up and plants him not once, but twice. Then Chad goes for a nail to tiger suplex, which yet again only gets Gable a 2 count. So the natural evolution of this is to look for a knee, although Vikingo moves out of harm's way and connects a spinning kick. And after rapid fire kicks which bounces Gable's head like a bouncy castle, Vikingo nails a simple loose first press. And his next move is also quite simple, as he nails a Kamigoye before going into the cover. But Gable kicks out at 2, so he looks for another spinning kick, which this time gets blocked by Gable, who then gives Vikingo a cartwheel kick for his troubles. Then Vikingo drags himself to his feet in the corner, before being put right back down with a drop kick. And the technical wrestling then resumes, as he even manages to lock in a crossface, but Vikingo escapes it before taking him down with a drop kick to the knees. Then he looks for a DDT, though he can't connect it, as Gable escapes before running off the ropes, yet he once again gets planted into the canvas, but once again, Gable kicks out. Though the kicks continue, but not for long, as Gable takes him down. Although as he looks to grapple Vikingo, he avoids this with 3 kicks to the leg, which is followed up by a pop-up meteor, but Gable stays in the match. And Gable smartly rolls to the apron, but this gets him a sunset flip powerbomb onto the concrete floor. Yet before he can capitalize, he gets distracted by Ivy Nile, which allows for Gable to nail an arm drag before following this up with a belly-to-belly suplex. And once he sends Vikingo into the ring, he spikes his head with a Fisherman Buster as he even hooks the cover. But that doesn't do the trick, so he looks to end the match with an ankle lock, although Vikingo is able to quickly scurry out of the hold. And with everything he has left, he lifts Gable up ahead and blasts him with a knockout forearm. But Gable is able to grab the ropes, so Vikingo decides to go high risk, which doesn't give him a reward, as Gable gets up there and meets him, though he can't connect the subsequent suplex, as he pushes him off and flawlessly transitions into a springboard Phoenix Splash. But Chad manages to kick out just in the nick of time. Vikingo can't believe it, though he stays on the offensive, as he looks for 630 senton, but no one's home. And Gable takes full advantage of this, as he nails a German suplex, but he keeps a tight grip before nailing another. And another, and another. Though after the 5th German suplex in quick succession, Vikingo reverses the momentum and attempts a pin. But Gable reverses his reversal into another pin, which gets counted into another similar pin until this cycle finally gets broken, with Gable pushing Vikingo off. Though before he can do any more damage, Julius Creed pulls his leg. It's unbelievable. Chad Gable is able to get back on top, all thanks to American Made. But whilst this is going on, Penta comes for some vengeance, even if he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match in less than 24 hours. As he takes out Julius Creed, all the while, Rey Fenix comes out over and drags Brutus out of the arena. And after Maxine Dupree takes out Ivy Nile, there's no more numbers game. The matchup is now a pure one-on-one affair, but Gable is still on top, as he manages to cinch in the ankle lock. Yet Vikingo won't give up, as he manages to fight out of it once again, before kicking him in the knee and spiking him on the head of a Hurricanrana. And to finish Gable off, Vikingo descends from the heavens with a 630 senton to pick up the huge win. What a way to end the show! Triple A's new main face proves why he is the man who runs the show. And if you like this story, I think this might interest you.